Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. This is Christian, and today we're going to be doing a reading for the sign of Aquarius for the time period of November 29th through through December 5th. So if you are an Aquarius sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be the reading for you. And also if you have Cancer as a moon or rising sign, then that reading will be available as well as a pick a card reading that I'm trying to pick a deck reading that I'm trying to do every week. If you want any additional kind of readings in between this one and the next one, I just want to thank you guys. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being back with me again. And if it's your first time here, please click that subscribe button, and then after you do that, click on that bell notification. And that goes for everyone here. I've noticed when you create YouTube content, it's a fluctuation in the views, and it's so drastic that I know that it's not just people just not choosing to watch my videos. When certain numbers of videos are super high, then the next one is super low. I just kind of think that it's an algorithm thing. So in order to kind of stay up to date of when I post things to my channel, if you turn on that bell notification on your phones and on your devices, I'm sorry, I hear dogs barking, so please, I'm sorry if you hear it in the background. That way, you'll get a notification when I post something instead of just kind of, having to wait around. I'm trying to get in the habit of having these up the week before. I think this is the first week that I kind of ran behind a little bit. And I haven't really been doing Aquarius readings, so this is going to be a first for me kind of jumping back in. It was requested, so hi, my subscriber that requested this. I'm finally getting your Aquarius videos now. I'm just at this time kind of focusing in on doing videos for Cancer and doing pick a deck reading. And then when I see, the need for other ones come about, like my subscriber who has been asking me for this Aquarius reading, then I can know that I need to kind of tap on that. So I'm doing this for you guys, as for her, because she's been so supportive. So thank you, subscriber. Now keep in mind that our readings can't possibly fit for every single Aquarius, so take what resonates and leave behind what does not. Also keep in mind that time and energy are fluid. So, things can be happening, that I'm saying that have previously happened, they be going on now, or they can be happening in the near future. And if there's like any particular situation, it may be you on one side or the other, or flip-flop, or however that kind of works. Oh, another thing, guys, I'm available for private readings as well. I will put the link for that below. I don't really too much advertise that on here, but I think it's a good time for me to start. So if you guys are interested in personal readings, that information and link will be available down below. Okay, so now I've just talked for 3 minutes without doing anything, so let's get into the reading. Let's see here. Today we're using a Light Seers Tarot. And I don't read cards in reverse. If I feel like the energy is the reverse energy or the negative energy upright, or if it's blocked or anything like that, I'll definitely mention that in the reading. But for my visual, I like to see them upright. So let's go here for Aquarius. These November 29th through December 5th. Let's see here. We're going to pull 3 cards. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to take a look at the card that's at the bottom of the deck, which is going to be the overarching theme of energy at this particular time. Now, keep in mind that the energy that we look at here can go beyond the time frame of just this week in particular. It can be months, it can be years, but this is a bigger lesson or a bigger theme of what we may be dealing with or learning about at this time, okay? So you have the Knight of Cups here. So whenever we have knights, we're talking about the way that we move with whatever particular element that it is that this that the knight has. And for this one in particular, this is the Knight of Cups. So we're talking a lot about being able to follow your heart at this time. This may be something that you're learning to do. And for some of you Aquarius, if this has been a time, if you've gone through like trauma, or you've opened yourself up before, or you've put yourself out there before and you've been rejected, or it wasn't well received, or maybe something traumatic happened, or you gave your heart to someone, or you poured your heart out to someone and you didn't get the response that you merited. I think that this is kind of giving me the idea that some of you guys are getting ready to be in that place again. I hate the fact that I have this I'm gonna still talk about it, but I'm gonna clean my nail because I was just messing with the ashes on the I was messing with the ashes of my Palo Santo before I did the reading, and I had to kind of scrape it a little bit, but I hate that I can see that on camera, so Please don't mind me being um a perfectionist in that, right? But no, we're talking about getting back up and riding on that horse again, like getting back up on the horse again. Kind of feeling that. It's kind of funny because this horse is sitting here in the background, and opening ourselves back up to love, to romance, to letting more of that back into your life. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to just be for people who are single. It can be for people who are in relationships. Maybe you're feeling yourself being a little bit more free, a little bit more open to kind of move a little bit more passionately, move a little bit more towards what your heart desires. You can be finding yourself being more loving. This is kind of like a romantic energy. You see them here with these roses here. Maybe this is a good time if you're in relationships to focus on the romance of relationships, and to take a look at the romance of relationships. You know, sometimes we get bogged down with life and with work and with children and things like that. And if you're one of those people that I'm talking to that this is particularly about, where you're in a relationship, there may have been a time where this couldn't be the priority, where this couldn't be the focus on making sure that the you know, that you guys are still courting each other. It doesn't matter what level of the relationship you're in. If you're married, this is like, okay, we need to establish date night, you know, or something like that, or whatever level of commitment you're in. This is a time where this could be the focus of trying to be able to bring that element back in or to enhance it. It doesn't mean that anything is wrong with it. Sometimes with tarot, I just think that these are just cards to signify a check-in point. Now, if you guys are single, I'm kind of feeling like this is you getting back on the horse again. For some of you are now in a space to where you feel like, okay, now I'm ready to love again. I'm open to love again. um I kind of I see someone feeling like, well, how do I dress, like for a date maybe, or or something like that. So that's coming out here. You're kind of trying to figure out who to be in love now, how to be romantic again, because I feel like for some of you Aquarius, if you're going through these tough relationships and these tough love cycles in your life, you've had to learn a lot of skills about standing up for yourself, taking up for yourself, defending yourself, how to be your own protector, to be your own hero, to be your own knight in shining armor, which the Knight of Cups is that. And I kind of see you coming into this place to where you're like, okay, well, I've done that part. I got that down. I'm not going to let narcissism in. I'm not going to let people take advantage of me anymore. I'm not going to let people just tell me anything anymore. And I know that that's going to work, but you know, how am I going to bring in somebody new if I'm so guarded? So here we are with the Knight of Cups here, who's kind of reminding us that we have to get back on the horse and we have to follow it again. And there are no promises, right? We never know where their road is going to take us, because it's one that we have to connect to emotionally and intuitively, and that can change within a second. But here is the willingness and the openness to let that magic come back into your life. Now, for some of you, this could be a person. Knights, cups can be water signs. So we're talking Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, a Cancer person. And also too, knights sometimes come in with messages. And I'm looking at this here. So someone could be communicating with you or sharing your love or trying to take you out or something like that. Here with the Knight of Cups. So be on the lookout for that. Or you might just, in general, you might just be seeing more people because you're opening up your energy to more people coming in and more love coming into your life. You might start to see people start to, you know, notice you a little bit more, start to try to be nice to you, try to take you on dates, because your energy field is opening up to that. When we're in the space where we're protecting ourselves, it's closed off. So you may see less of that. But as you change your mindset about this, you may notice a pickup, which I'm kind of feeling like kind of has you a little bit like, okay, how do I show up? Like, what do I wear to the date? I don't even know how to do this anymore. How do I do it now, right? Like, how do I get back on the horse? And those things will come to you. It's just the willingness to be able to open yourself up to moving towards that direction. All right, now let me see. Knight of Cups here in this particular deck, I just kind of really feel like there's a focus on love, but I guess also too, it can be a little bit about creativity. I'm kind of getting that feeling too. Once again, it's still the same theme of getting back on the horse. Like if there's been like a creative project or something that you've been working on, that you've put a pause on, this is like, okay, well, who am I now? Like if you're an artist and you've stepped away from your craft, you've taken a step back. This is you reapproaching it now. Now we're at the point to where, okay, you're back at the easel again, right? And you have the blank canvas, and now you're trying to figure out how to make your art, or how to make what you're creating represent where you are now. This could even be for your life. It doesn't have to be really just necessarily like a creative venture or love. It could actually be your life. Like you're ready to kind of come back, and you're looking, you're saying, what can I create in my life now? How can I bring more love into my life? How can I bring more creativity, more flow into my life? So this is kind of something that I kind of see, that I kind of see coming up here. And for those of you here, I was talking about haven't been in a relationship, and the singles here that I was saying, maybe you had to kind of go through this season of having to, to really step up for yourself and really set your boundaries, and really like, I'm not going to say scare people off, but it's like a sense of, I mean, business. And now you're coming, you can kind of see the lion kind of coming away to where, this side of yourself is starting to show, the more softer side of yourself is starting to come out. And where you're kind of learning a little bit about balance between the two, right? It's nothing wrong with being in the state of the Knight of Cups to where you're being dreamy, you're being lovey, you're being imaginative, you're being creative, you're being romantic in whatever aspect of life. But, if we get too much in that state here, then we become vulnerable like this lamb. Just think like here, like vulnerable, we look like a target, right? But if we get too much in this state, then, it scares people off. So here, I feel like if you're coming out of this stage of where you've had to be like that for yourself, be your own advocate a little bit, I see you kind of icing, like defrosting a little bit to kind of put yourself back out there, in whatever way that may be. Even with the Knight of Cups, I'm getting a sense of forgiveness. If this is not like romantic or anything like that, finally somebody's kind of like defrosting to where, okay, we can talk about apologies now. It can be someone coming in with an apology, or you going to someone with an apology, but at one point in time this wasn't an option for you, and now I feel like it kind of is opening itself up. Okay, then you have the Ace of Cups, so perfect, because this is new love entering into your life. So yeah, I really feel like this is at the center of this. This is kind of love. I'm really feeling love. You have the heart right here, you have the heart right here, you have the heart right here with the Ace of Cups. But this is definitely bringing in this ace, this sense of newness, and I'm feeling restored, like here when that we have the Ace of Cups. It's like my cup is running over, so now I have enough to be able to share with other people and to be able to share with the world, because you're not being depleted, or all of your energy is not going to be in this state to where you're on guard. So it kind of opens you up a little bit more. And then when you have the Ace of Cups and you have the Knight of Cups, it can very well be someone coming in particular, with being a part of that situation here with the Knight of Cups, because you have the Ace of Cups here and then you have the cup here. So someone could be coming in with this opportunity here, and if there is one, if you're kind of a little nervous about, like, okay, what do I do, how do I respond, don't go into either of the extremes. Don't just let somebody completely take control of the situation, but you don't overly take control of the situation either. You kind of stay in this middle point, and you step in like that when you have to, and then you relinquish, you step back when you don't really have to. You don't have to be in either one, because both of those states are kind of like they're kind of going to be either you're going to be empathic, or you're going to be I'm not going to say narcissistic. Either you're going to be super giving and loving, or you're going to be super constricted and not open to being receptive of this right here. So these are a few of the cards that I'm getting right here, just going into the reading, and then we'll take a look here to see how this could be playing out here. So we have the Wheel here. So yeah, the Wheel of Fortune talks about a change or a shift in what we've been doing. Also too, this could be, like I said, leaving from that state of being protective or being kind of like iced to kind of like the defrosting kind of feeling. I feel like you're letting go of whatever this is. And because I'm not saying letting go of whatever it is, but letting go of the need to have control. It's almost like this freedom that comes in. I think that for some of you Aquarius, you may feel safe enough now to be able to know, like, this system is running behind you. It's almost like, like if a kid is running and they're looking back to see if their parent is there. And if they know their parent is there, they feel secure to just be free because they know they're going to be protected. And I feel like this is kind of what you're doing to yourself, which is kind of opening you up to these new opportunities. Now, when they come to you, or when you're getting these urges to do things, to move in certain directions, not just with love, but with any area of being more open, being more expressive, being more creative, it might frighten you a little bit, because it's almost like once you let go of that, instantly things start to come in, or you start to get these nudges to move in a certain way because you're making the choice to be open to it. So the ego might a little bit, which this is, the strength card is about, that relationship between you and the ego. It might come in a little bit to try to say, well, wait a minute, well, duh, duh, duh. And here you have a card where you're learning how to follow those impulses. I just want you to know that it'll be safe to go ahead and do that, because that system is running in the back of you. It's not like you're going to get too far down a road that's not for you anymore, even if you've kind of have done that before, like your emotions have led you down the wrong path before, deemed seemingly the wrong path, because you probably learned something in the process. Don't allow that to kind of mess this up for you, whatever this is. You have the will. So when we're talking about the will, we're talking about, it's the wheel of fortune. It's a change in luck. It's a change in fate. And here you have these dice here, so it's like lucky, like a lucky shot. So I kind of feel like something positive is coming in here. The will card is associated with Jupiter, and Jupiter brings about gifts and abundance and love, and what is the word? He's jovial and happy and joy. So it's good vibes coming in some kind of way, from that openness. And just to know that also too, that you're not, if you're someone that's back open into dating or something like that, don't just think that you're gonna meet the one right away. A person may be a person may be meant to get you through a certain time period, and then as you figure out what it is that you want, that feeling of, okay, well, how do I do this? Maybe dating, figure that you find that out along the way, because we're going down a journey with the Knight of Cups, instead of thinking that you have to have a certain thing now. That's what dating is for. So you can say, oh, that didn't work, next time I want this. Oh, that didn't work. And then you get closer and closer to being towards what it is that you're looking for. Also, that's the same that same thing goes for your life and for your creativity. That easel, as you start to paint, as you put one brush stroke on, then you'll say, okay, well, it needs this. Okay, well, it needs this. Okay, well, I don't like that. Or maybe you start over, or maybe you do something different, or maybe you say that painting isn't my thing anymore. And that can be in any area of your life, but it takes the courage to, which, the strength card is about courage, to be able to put yourself out there, and to put one foot in front of the other. Okay. The positive things I see here with the Wheel of Fortune. And then we have this Eight of Pentacles here. So this Eight of Pentacles is kind of acknowledging the fact that you've been working on yourself, for sure. And I think that the Eight of Pentacles is a card that is associated with the sign of Virgo. So it's getting I'm getting in the sense of here where a person is kind of feeling a little bit like it has to be right on the first shot. That's going back to the thing I was saying about dating. Like if the person like it's almost like we're looking for the one right as soon as we begin dating. And it's like the universe is kind of saying here, the way that what you want today is going to change as you move down this journey, because it's all about you learning about yourself, which the Eight of Pentacles is about self mastery. This is all for you to keep on, to continue learning about yourself. And if you look here, for one, you have this person here working on something creatively, right? There are a bunch of different things here, but also here too, you have these different moon phases, which I'm kind of getting like there are going to be different phases that these things go through. And we don't want to cheat that process, because ultimately it's going to get you to what your soul is truly desiring. It's something that you may not be able to see from your perspective just now. So it's gonna be work. If we're hoping to get in something, even with the dice, I'm like, it's like, okay, we can hope for the one, we can hope for the masterpiece, we can hope for the right decisions all the time, but that's just hope, right? It's fate. We have to we can't be fixated on it. We can wish for the best, and maybe you might meet someone and it might be the one right away. Or maybe your first painting may be your masterpiece, or maybe this decision may be the decision that changes your life, but it doesn't have to be. And I think that once we let go of the expectation that, don't lean so much on the expectation that it has to be there, which is being controlling with the Strength card here, just kind of say, this is the best possible outcome that I will want. I'm going to open myself up to it. If I don't get it, I'm not cheated out of that outcome. It just means that there's more for me to learn. There's more for me to go. Maybe something that I learn in this situation is going to better make me have my choose the direction of how I'm going to move next. Okay, so when we're putting ourselves back in these creative spaces, back in these loving spaces and things like that, it's a little less linear than what we think. Like, if I do this, it should be like this, it should be like this, it should be like this, which sometimes I'm feeling like you know, the Virgo energy that I'm getting from the Eight of Pentacles, it can be very, very analytical about, you know, like about everything, like over analyze it. And here you have Jupiter, and I'm thinking of Sagittarius with Jupiter, which is just really so much about the adventure. We're in Sagittarius season right now, so this is kind of like what I'm kind of getting. It's the what I was telling people. I did a live on Facebook. I was talking about transitioning from Scorpio season to Sagittarius season. This is the time to dream your biggest dream, to set your aim at your highest thing, and that's at your highest like vision, and then let life kind of guide you on that journey. And Sagittarius doesn't get pissed off about the journey. You know, they enjoy it, whatever turns it may take. So this is where I'm kind of getting at. And even then, if I'm kind of getting here results, because you've been doing this work, you've been doing this work, you've been doing this work, you want the results. Even when you get into a relationship, and even when it is the one, or even when you do create the masterpiece, or even when you are working that dream job, or you have that dream house, there's still more things to learn along the way. And there's a sense of getting conditioned to knowing that there's always going to be more to learn. It lets you fall a little bit so much away from thinking that there's some destination to get to. It's really not about the destination. It's the journey, right? It's the journey of us getting there. So that's kind of what I'm kind of getting with the Eight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. And then here we have we have the Knight of Swords. So let me tell you what the Knight of Swords about. You have the Knight of Cups and you have the Knight of Swords. So here, kind of just touching bases on what I was kind of saying. One, here you have this. That's kind of funny that he has this arrow, this thing on the back. I'm getting two messages from this a little bit. One, when you have the expectation that I'm gonna find someone quick, I feel like just as it's almost like comparing microwavable food to a well-cooked meal. And when you're in that vibration, you're doing it for good reason. Like, because you're like, okay, I've done this work on myself. This person should be here. Like, let's just show up and let's make it happen. But I think what happens is you're attracting people in that are looking for something quick, that aren't looking for something long term. And their reasoning for looking for something quick is not matching what your reasoning is for it, but we're not realizing that that's what we're manifesting. We're asking for something quick. So then the universe sends somebody quick, right? And then it ends up not being the person. So here, when you have this, like the Knight of Swords is very quick moving. It wants to just jump and cheat the process. Like, here you have the Knight of Cups here with their horse. Like, we're gonna go by horse. We're gonna enjoy the lake along the way. We're gonna stop for a picnic. And then you have here the Knight of Swords, who's like, let's just jump on it and let's go. I know what's best for me. I can see it. I know the future. I already know. Like, that's kind of like the energy of the Knight of Swords. Like, no one can tell me anything. I'm rushing again. I know the truth. I can see through this. I can't be told anything. So you just kind of, either one or two things. Either you jump on the motorcycle and you just go. That's being very, very quick. So you miss the lake that he's gonna see, or the river that he's following down, or the time for the picnic. You're not watching the sunset. You're not enjoying the flowers, right? You're just trying to get to the destination quick. But also, what I feel like with this is what was I gonna say? I just lost it because I heard a noise outside. The Knight of Swords here. I was gonna say gets on the motorcycles, ready to go. Oh, but also too, you miss out on all the lessons that you can learn along the way, because we're more so worried about the destination and getting there than we are about enjoying the experience. And I think that's kind of what this is. Like we don't want to watch the movie and we're at the end of the movie. We need a build up, we need a climax, we need supporting characters. Like, there's so much more to it than that in your life. And that's kind of what I'm kind of seeing with these cards here right now. I think that for your sake, I want to pull out an oracle card for this reading. I'm going to pull from the Psychic Tarot of the Heart, because I feel like this had a lot to do with love, with that Knight of Cups coming out. So let's see what we have here. one more time for Aquarius. But overall positive, because even to be here, even to be considering it, what I'm feeling, Aquarius, is that was something that that it even took you time to be in a space to even be able to think about, dating life again. So this is good, or being open to being creative again, or whatever this is. Furthering the relationship also too, because I know I kind of stayed on singles a little bit because I felt like this is more, it may be more people here or that catch this reading that are single than that are in a relationship. But also too, that's like, if we're in a relationship and you're ready for the commitment to be at another level, this is kind of where we're like, let's be married already. Let's do this. Let's move in. Let's do. It's kind of like those things, because we feel like we've done so much work on ourselves that these things should be progressing faster. And I kind of was just telling someone here recently that whenever we create a relationship with someone, it's I'm not going to say it's not okay, because it's done with good intention, but we may have these ideas of a role, like of how we'd like to see a relationship. When we don't include the other person on the creation of that, then I feel like it makes the person interchangeable, because you were still going to have your vision, it just needed another person. So this is where I kind of see the importance of working with someone to create something. And then it makes it a fun process. It's like baking cookies together or doing something together. It's more fun than you just doing it and then just, it just being something just done because we felt like it was the next step, because you had this person's energy and your energy to be able to build something together, even if it's the journey. So if you're in a relationship and you're feeling that urge that we need to move here, we need to move here, we need to move here, this is kind of why this Knight of Cups is coming back up to saying it's time to focus on the romance of the relationship, instead of the where the relationship is, where you're supposed to be. It focus on where you are and what you can do in the space that you are, and then those things will happen. And I'll go ahead and point this out here. The Hierophant here is a card of marriage, is a card of commitment. So whenever we are able to kind of do that from a place of love, you have it here, you're going to create something that's of a higher capacity and of a higher level. All right. Let's see, what advice do we have for Aquarius? Okay, that one wanted to come out, but I think we want another one too. I'm seeing choose your battles here, and I'm kind of feeling like the same, what that's kind of giving a nod to is the same energy that we can put into kind of trying to dictate what is going to be let's move this relationship into this place, or this person should be like this, the person we should be like that, or the person should be like that, can be given a little bit more to manifesting in what it is that you want. If you kind of get what I'm if you kind of catch my drift. That was a lot of cards. Like, almost like what I'm kind of getting here is like, don't make it a duty. Like, don't make it a job. Don't choose to make that a job. The universe will take care of making sure that you find the right one, or the right person, or that you make the right decisions. But you have to stay fixated on your goals, on your vision of how you see those things happening for you. Even if it changes, it's good to just have a starting point and to focus on that, because that's how you draw more things in, rather to focus on where you should be. This gives us, it makes once again, I'm saying, it makes the journey fun. So your energy can better be applied to the manifestation of it, rather than to being the one to, well, how's this person going to come? Where how's this going to happen? And how's that going to happen? And I'm just kind of saying that because the Eight of Pentacles here, you've done a lot of work on yourself. Like I was kind of saying here with the Strength card right here, there's been a lot of self-work on it. You're used to being in the driver's seat and having to kind of figure out things, which is why you're ready to jump back on the we're ready to jump back on the motorcycle and go, because you've had to go through a season of this. But that season, like just like these phases here in the Wheel of Fortune, is coming to an end, to where I'm not going to say you're not in control of your experience, but now the focus is shifting onto something else. And it's good to move with those with those with that or otherwise you'll be counterproductive to what you're trying to create. So let's get one more. You know what I feel led to do? I wanna get one. We got that one from that deck. Let's do the Spirit Animal Oracle here. All right, let's see. Card for Aquarius. What card do we have for Aquarius Spirit? This message. Okay. Okay, you have two different energies here. So you have the be here now spirit, and you have believe in yourself spirit. And I feel, and me, the squirrel spirit. I said be here now, the hummingbird spirit, and you have the squirrel spirit. It's the same, believe in yourself. And I want you to know that when you overfunction here in a relationship and you try to do more work to make things kind of force things into your life, what you're doing in that, what you don't realize you're doing it, but because you're not doing it intentionally, is you're kind of discounting the work that you've done to put yourself in a place to where you can trust more in the universe because you're in a more trusting position. You've kind of taken the people out that you don't need to that don't belong. You've done a lot of this self-work. This is trusting that you've done enough work on yourself that things are going to vibrate to you naturally. And if we stay stuck in the past thinking that the same things will happen, well, what was the point of going through the season to where you've had to work on all those things and you've had to heal all of those things here? So this is kind of like believing that and not having this expectation that if you're not so much in control of your experience that things are going to go sideways, because it doesn't give the universe wiggle room to be able to work. Now with the hummingbird spirit, it's about being present, and this is not about thinking about the future. And once again, here we are with these two knights that are both about movement, and you have one that's taking a picnic here with this horse, with the sunset or the sunrise, and then you have the Knight of Swords here, who's not, you can't even see his face because he's not paying attention to what's going on in front of him. Like, he's not present like the Knight of Wands. He's ready to get on to the next thing and ready to make it happen right away. So this is what I'm kind of getting with the hummingbird spirit. And now with the hummingbird spirit too, I have this card in another deck, a hummingbird card in another deck. I just think about how movable the energy of the hummingbird is. It can move at very fast rates and get different places at different times. So this is kind of going along with how this the Knight of Cups is. This is kind of saying, in order to get to where you want, spirit is not going to move in a linear way like you think, like one thing in front of the next. You may be moving around, like it may be like some movement into different places and different spaces, like dating different people, having different experiences to be able to get there, but be present in them and just enjoy what's being in front of you. And you have to have a certain trust and a belief that you are good enough, you're great enough to be able to attract in things at all time. Even if you go on a date or you're participating in something, or you do something, or something happens with someone where it doesn't work out in that particular moment, it doesn't mean that you've been swiped of your ability to be able to bring that into your life. So don't instantly go to that. For those of you who are dating, for those of you who are creating, don't just instantly feel like I'm not good at this anymore because it's not turning out the way that you want. That is just, it's all a part of the journey to be able to get you somewhere greater. And I want to read, let's see, where's the book for this? I'm always losing books. It's like it never fails for you. Ever since I started reading cards, I lose books as soon as I do the readings. So let's see. It says here, the hummingbird's wings beat so swiftly it can hover into seeming stillness as it drinks deeply from a flower. Hummingbird spirit comes to remind you that the beauty and sweetness of life is the eternal now, the timeless present. Here and now, you're becoming the person you wish to be, to have experiences you wish to have. Focus your energy on the flower before you, for what you desire is being provided. Yes, there are blossoms everywhere. The choices can be dazzling. Hummingbird spirit is that you have no need to go about in search of something better, for all that you require and desires before you. You will know this as you become still, feeling your connection to spirit, who loves you unconditionally and will always provide for you. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of what I have for you guys at this time, Aquarius. I hope that you guys enjoyed this reading. Please let me know if it resonates down below by dropping a comment, give it a thumbs up, and please click that bell notification if you want to get notifications when I post my readings. Also, too, once again, I'm available for personal private readings, and I'll put that link with this video down below. You guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.